So it's time to do the ejection charge testing for the Arapahoe X. So using the one of the calculators online, I figured that I could probably start with testing a 1.3 gram charge for the main and a 1 gram charge for the drogue. So this is how I'm going to make these up. I actually have some old charges I made up for the Horizon rocket, and I'm probably just going to go ahead and use these to test because they've been in the box for probably a couple of months. So I wanted to just have, and I can make up fresh ones for that when I fly it. So there's already a 1.3 gram charge made up. So right now I'm just going to make up a 1 gram charge. Hopefully that'll be correct. If not, we'll adjust that to taste. So let's get a 1 gram. Here's my 1 gram scoop. This is the OK Turbo way of doing this. 4F black powder. For small quantities of black powder, 1 cc is equal to pretty much 1 gram. So there's that. And what I usually do is just pour it into one of these little vials that comes with your reload kit. This makes it easier to pour into the glove tip. Plus these are graduated on the side too, so it's kind of a quick check too to see if that's, and it is, right at the 1.0 gram or cc. I think these are probably cc's too, but let me get the glove tip. Pour that in. I don't use any fancy vials or anything like that. It's usually just a glove tip wrapped in masking tape just like that. And that has always worked for me. So let me label this. One gram. Okay, so that charge is made up. Here's another 1.3. So now we got to get the rocket ready for testing. I think I will probably do the main first. So let me get that set up. Okay, so there's a 3 gram or 1.3 gram charge for the main. So I'm going to put it where I normally would. It's down here. Okay, so that's there. So what I'm going to have to do is feed this through the vent hole. So see if I can get this done without making too big of a mess. Yeah, surprisingly that worked. feed this through. I'll fix the shock cord and everything when I get this all together and the nose cone off. Okay. And don't forget the shear pins, because that's really what we're kind of testing here. Making sure that this 1.3 gram charge will pop those shear pins and get everything out. Okay, test number 1, Arapahoe X, main charge, 1.3 grams. The battery out here. And we're going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well, that was successful. Launched it like nobody's business. Matter of fact, I went the full extent of the shock cord. That may be a little bit too much. I may go down to 1.2. Try that. What I'm going to do when I test the drogue is I'm going to actually just use this old. It's from an Estes Big Daddy. It was kind of in the scrap heap. The fence busted. I can't remember what happened on that one. That was from probably 15 years ago, but this will make a good substitute. That way I don't risk damaging the pretty gloss one that I made for the Arapahoe X. So let's take this all apart, take this ejection charge out, get it set up for the drogue ejection charge testing. Had shear pins in it from when I was doing the drilling and tapping. I'm going to remove those so I can take this section apart. That right there. Also note that what I've done here is the tail cone is not really fitting on good because I've added a piece of cardboard there, but that's going to keep that ejection pressure from just blowing through the back end, so we'll get a better idea of the correct amount for the charge here. This is what I'm using for my drogue parachute. It's Top Flight Ultra X. It's got the flat webbing for shroud line, so that's going to be the drogue chute for this guy. I've taken that chute protector off the main because it's really not big enough for the main, and I'm going to use it back here. So next I'm going to show you kind of how I set up the attachment for the drogue. I do the same thing on the main. So as these things separate, I want the parachute to be pulled out of the lower tube fairly quickly, one of the first things to come out. So I'm going to give, there's a few feet here that's going to be the chute protector, the shock cord protector. So I don't know, about 24 inches away from that connection point, I'm going to add a loop. And the way I do this is an alpine butterfly knot, so watch how I do it. It's fairly simple. So you go, hold it in your hand like this, go out, and then back in. So see how that lays? Out, in. So one should be going one way, one should be going the other way. Then you take the one that doesn't have a tail over, under, and back through. And then you start to kind of form the knot or the loop. So you just come slowly, pull it tight. You want things to lay neatly. So that looks pretty good. So there's a good, strong attachment point for the drogue chute. Like this. Okay. Probably, well, it's like anything. First time you're doing it, it's kind of figuring it out. So, okay. So set this up here like I did last time. All right. Okay, Arapahoe X drogue ejection charge testing. This is 1 gram. I'm going to go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Okay, I'm going to get things cleaned up and kind of put it back together, and I think that's a successful ejection charge testing. Like 1 gram for the drogue and 1.3 for the main. Even the main at 1.3 seemed a little strong, but it'll certainly work. When I get the other stuff, I may go ahead and check that again with a 1.2 just so it doesn't hit the end of the recovery harness shock cord. So not really violently, but it certainly did take it all the way to the end. So I may do that when all the other stuff comes in. But till then, it's a good day.